Did you guess what card we're making today from that clue? Well, let's go to the craft table and find out. I'm Melody. Welcome to my channel, Making Melody Crafts. All right, we are down at the craft table. Today we're going to be making a gatefold card, so here's a few examples of one. And this card was made with samples of wallpaper from a wallpaper book. And this one is an A2 size card, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This one is a 5 by 7. And this is how this gatefold card works. So the same as the other one. I have not decorated the inside on this one yet. And this is just some paper that I like. For this 5 by 7 card, you're going to need a 7" by 10" piece of cardstock. And this is my We Are Memory Keepers scoring tool. Score it at 2 1/2. And then score it at 7 1/2. I actually tried to do it where I just scored it at 2 1/2 and then flipped it around and scored it. It didn't work. I don't know why. But it just didn't. So I'm going to do that one more time. Then we're going to flip it over. When you flip it over, that's when you want to fold. So your mountains become valleys and valleys become mountains. So carefully, a little slow on the first fold there. And then the cool thing about doing that is that you get this nice area inside. It just has a really professional look when you score it, so it's kind of cool. If you don't have a scoring tool, you really don't need it to make a gatefold card. You could always just use something squishy underneath and a ruler and, you know, something like a stylus that you can do that with. So that'll work. I have another one here already done. This one isn't quite like I want it, so that'll happen sometimes with these gatefold cards. So don't be surprised or feel discouraged if that happens to you. So I scored it and still it's, you know, giving me a little bit of trouble, so I will just run that over there. If you don't have a scoring tool like that, you can also use the edge of a handle of a pair of scissors. Yeah, that's just not exactly like I want it, so I think I'm going to go with this one. So I have another one here, kind of waiting in the wings already. All right, and now we're going to go ahead and decorate the outside of the gatefold card. This is the paper that I'm going to be using, and it's K & Company paper, and this is Basic Gray. I absolutely love this paper set or paper collection. I've used it many, many times before. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that and be right back. All right, now both of those are trimmed apart, and they're going to go on each of these sides. And then I went ahead and made a belly band. This is a way to close a gatefold card. This is 1" by 11 inches, although for a 5 by 7 I kind of prefer 1" by 12 inches, but it will work just fine. If you were making an A2 card, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, your belly band could just be 11 inches long. That's totally fine, but you do need, you know, a longer piece of paper. So let's get that glued down on there. I think I'll use my adhesive tape glider and do it that way. This is a pretty neat tool. If you make cards and you're kind of on the fence about, oh, should I get one of these or shouldn't I? Yes, you should. That's my opinion anyways. I mean, use a coupon and all that good stuff, but I would definitely recommend one of those because I like them a lot, or I like it a lot. Makes it much easier when you're doing things and decorating things, and it just works better than those little handheld tape things that, you know, the smaller ones. I think this time on this one I'm going to go ahead and use my glue stick because sometimes it just works better and it gives you some time to position everything. So I like that. That's the ticket. All right, and then let's give it a roll with the brayer so it stays down. Pretty cool, pretty cool. That's what we've got right now. So I like that a lot. Isn't that paper just gorgeous? And now let's see what we want to do. We need something on the inside, and then this is going to be our belly band that's going to hold it together, and that's the other side of the pattern. And I could also use this. This is out of the same paper line. So I might try to do something like that with the belly band on there. So we'll see how that goes. I think I'm going to try this stamp. This is from Sugarloaf Products in 2005. And the ink that I'm using is the Ranger Archival ink. I like it so much. It's pretty cool. And this one is the sepia. I just call it brown. Makes life less complicated. Whenever you're using a rubber stamp, it's a good idea just to have something squishy underneath, which could be a phone book or, you know, an old phone book or whatever, just to give you something, give that stamp something to kind of push into. It kind of helps the image to come out better. So that's what we've got. It's pretty cute, right? So I went ahead and cut that out, and now I'm just going to go ahead and edge the sides. I wanted to do the belly band with this in some way, which is actually a tag. You kind of fold it in half and it's a tag. But you know, the more I look at this, isn't that just adorable? And it kind of matches, right? I think I'm gonna go with that because it's just so darn cute. I don't know if I want to use the belly band with it or not. What do you think? So it's like the greenish there. And this is the same set. This paper is the same set, but I'm not sure how much I really like that. So decisions. Even though I may not use the belly band, I want to go ahead and show you how they work in case you're not aware. So this is the one that's about, I think this one is 11 inches long. So I put my card in the middle, and having a grid underneath kind of helps, but you don't need it. And the card is 5 inches wide, so I've got about 3 inches on either side. And then once I, get that in the right spot, then just go ahead and fold it over. So it overlaps about, what is that? I don't know, about an inch, right? I don't really do exact measurements. It's not my thing. It's not my vibe. When you do a belly band, you also don't want to have it super, super tight on the card, because what somebody's going to do is they're going to slide that off to open the card. So if it's too tight on there, it just makes it really difficult for the, for the recipient to get that off of there. I'm going to put adhesive there, right, to make it stay. One thing that I like to do is I grab a pencil, I pull it back a tad, maybe like 1/8 of an inch, and make a little pencil mark. So now I know not to let my adhesive go past that pencil line. That just helps me out. I think I'm going to use this, even though it does take a little bit to dry. Okay, back to our card. And then, that's the other side. So if you're using a belly band, the other side is kind of, going to be visible. There we go. So I'm just going to hold that there for a minute. You could do that with it not on your card, but I just like having it on the card when I first do that, because I can make sure that, it's not going to be like too loose or too tight. And so that's what that looks like when it's done. This is just a part of that paper. That's not a pencil line, in case you're curious. I like that a lot. Isn't that just so cute? I love autumn and fall. I think it's just so nice, the cool air and everything, and the leaves turning colors. But should I do it with the belly band or without? Even though this is from the same paper line, I don't really think that, I don't know, for some reason I don't think that goes together, but technically it is supposed to. It's from the same pack of paper. I'm thinking about just closing it like that. I think it's kind of fun. Yeah, let's go with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little adhesive square on there. Let's get this on this half. And then these just peel off. They're pretty handy to have. And obviously don't glue, don't put adhesive on both sides so they can't open the card. Although it does seem kind of hilarious. Oh gosh, now I actually put it on the other side. Alright, I had actually put the adhesive on the wrong side, just like I was talking about that could happen and to be careful of. I did it. So just to ensure I don't do that again, I'm going to go ahead and just draw a quick line right up kind of like the middle of that. And if you're ever using one of these little, little tabs, little adhesive tabs, they're really easy to cut apart and put down wherever you need them. This isn't that heavy, so really I'm not terribly concerned about it coming up. So I probably only need 1 or 2 of these little squares, but that's alright. I've got them. I might as well use them. Oh, that makes that so easy with that line there. I don't have to guess, right? Okay, pretty neat. So here we go. There's our gatefold card. Okay, there we go. So now I've got that on there. So kind of fun, right? Isn't it so cute? I love autumn. Okay, so great. Boy, that was challenging. I don't know why. Do you ever have those days where, something you normally do and it just goes, like clockwork, and then sometimes it doesn't, right? So I'm glad I just kind of pressed on and figured out something else to do, because I like it a lot. So I see an area here of the card where the paper's kind of come up a little bit there. It's just not totally down. I had to kind of pull that up and then trim it using a skewer, and these I just get at my grocery store. Oh my gosh, we have glue going everywhere. Okay, I got it. These are pretty handy for using to get into these little areas where you might need to get some glue after it's kind of already glued down. There we go. And then I just kind of turn this as I'm using it so that I can get the glue, to go right where I want it. And this is better than using a toothpick because, you have something to hold on to. And one thing I didn't show you before was just a little visual for, you know, a little template. So it's 2.5 inches here to here, here to here, and then your center 5. So obviously it's length of 10 inches and whatever height that you want your card to be. And you know, there's many different gatefolds. This is just the one that I wanted to show you today. So now we have a blank area. If any of you are painters, I'm sure you can sympathize, right? It's like a blank canvas. Whoa, what do we do? I'm just gonna grab something and get it down there. Then one of my absolute favorite stamps for this time of year, for the fall, is this adorable little acorn. I think it's just so darn cute, and handcrafted in the USA exclusively by Ink-a-Dink-a-Doo. There's that image. Isn't it just great? Do you just have stuff like that sometimes, like a little stamp or just something that you just enjoy so much? Now I want to put a little bit of a sentiment on the inside, and I just thought this was interesting. So this is kind of a thinking of you card, and this is a thinking of you stamp from 1992, and this is a thinking of you stamp from 2012. How about that? How things have changed. So this is more formal, you know, with italics and everything and cursive, and this is just a little more informal. Because of this type of paper and there's already italics on there, I really like the way that this one looks in here. So I'm just going to use that. I'm just going to put that there. And kind of just like a, you know, thinking of you, you know, to cheer someone up during these times. Just kind of what I wanted to do this week and what I wanted to make. So I just went ahead and used those adhesive squares again. Those are really great and they are permanent. So let me get this kind of where I want it. Maybe a little higher, maybe a little lower. I don't know how to turn it around. Oh my goodness. Made a decision. I think it shall go there. Here's the finished card. It was so much fun to make. And if you had some fun or learned something, please subscribe. I'd appreciate it so much. And I'll catch you later.